This isn't just another podcast. It's a movement, a global wave of women from Nairobi to Nashville, Seoul to Sao Paulo, stepping out of the shadows and into the spotlight. Women who are ready to be seen, to be heard, to be unmuted. I'm Anjali Marshall, an award-winning ABC and NBC journalist and speaker, turned business strategist, coach, and mom. My mission? To amplify the voices of women who were never meant to stay silent. One woman, one voice, one story at a time. So go ahead, put on your comfy pants, grab a coffee, and maybe the remote. Are you ready to press the button? Unmuted starts right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Unmuted podcast. I'm your host, Anjali Marshall. This podcast is where silence ends and stories arise. I am so excited for today's guest. She is living proof that numbers do not have to be cold. They don't have to be quiet. Her name is Cindy Kumar. Get familiar with that name. She's a CPA, a CFO, a podcast host, a familiar person to some people. And for this community, I want to make sure that you can hear her heart, you hear her story, because she has something to say. Cindy is a financial member who is helping women take back control of their money and their voice. But her story is a lot more than just spreadsheets and success. For a number of years, Cindy played it safe. We're going to talk more about her story, but she said that she stayed quiet, she followed the rules, and she waited for permission. Does that sound familiar? Until she stopped. Since then, she's built a powerful brand. She's mentored women around the world, and she hit over 100 episodes on her podcast. That's so cool, Cindy. I can't wait. Her podcast is called Her Wealthy Mindset. And today she's here to talk about the courage that it takes to speak up, the fears that we carry around money, and the power of finally unmuting yourself. So without further ado, welcome, Cindy. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to have this conversation.
Absolutely. Come on, 100 episodes. How does that feel?
It feels good. The goal is like 90 consistently, and then just like I just need to get 100, and now it's just like weekly episodes.
And now what's the new goal? 1,000?
Yeah, eventually get there.
Absolutely. So Cindy, I'm really, really excited that you're here. Thank you for lending your voice and speaking up. I want to start with just your story first, and then we can kind of hop into some of the questions that I have. But tell our listeners and our viewers who you are and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Cindy Kumar. 10 years ago, I was a shy girl sitting behind the desk. I would say like even growing up, like I just did what I was told, just answered questions, didn't really speak my mind. I worked in like corporate, the world for like accounting services. I was at like KPMG, one of the big four companies. And I just felt like I was always just trying to do and play by the rules, never really speaking up. I would have thoughts and feelings, but I would get so nervous, like even sharing those thoughts. I'd get all like sweaty and just scared of like speaking up. So like any public speaking, I would do nothing. I really hated like group projects or anything, but I felt like I was like really smart. I knew what I was doing, but I was never able to like showcase that.
Interesting.
And then I got to the point where I just got tired and like anxious of like getting out of bed, running to work. With the corporate accounting world, like you have tax filing deadlines, and it doesn't matter like how you feel or what's going on in your personal life, because those tax returns have to get done by the deadline. And every firm that I worked at always promoted like work-life balance, but it didn't really matter because of those tax deadlines. And I just got to the point where I started getting sick. I started dealing with like thyroid, iron issues, and just felt super anxious, like driving to work every single day. But I really just wanted to support people. I started thinking like, what else can I do with like my CPA designation? I almost thought of like going back to school and doing something else. But I just realized that like most accounting firms, they're so focused on like tax filing services and just getting people through the door, talking to them once a year. But once that filing is done, there's no support being added. When someone starts a business, no one's really telling them or guiding them like what they need to set up, whether
Yeah.
it's like tax write-offs, like how to structure their business. They're just hearing things from like friends and family. They're making costly mistakes. They don't
Yeah.
even know when to file their taxes or like how to make payments or anything.
Yeah.
And I realized there was like a gap in the market when it came to that. So 3 years ago, I just created an Instagram page, started posting accounting and tax tips every single day. I started recording videos of me talking.
Videos of the quiet girl talking. What was that like?
It was nerve-wracking, but I told myself, even if I help one person,
Yeah.
I'm making a difference because what's the point of me going to school, getting that financial education if I'm not serving anybody with that? I'm
That's
pretty much
so
keeping like everybody else.
Yeah, that's really great. Man, Cindy, that's cool. That's actually so powerful that you took that power back and you were like, "No, there's no point in me having this if I can't help
Yeah.
somebody." And I love that. One of the things that I have noticed is like this common thing with especially women who find themselves uh kind of escaping the quiet girl this is the norm for me sort of mentality, I guess,
Yeah.
is it's the question that I have been asking so many people is what was it? What was that moment when you were like, you know what? I don't want to be quiet anymore. That doesn't serve me. And one of the things that someone told me I never forgot was I realized I had a message. I had something that somebody needed. And if I didn't
Mhm.
speak up, they wouldn't have gotten that message. And so nerves went away or they worked through the nerves. Did you find that that was true for you as well?
I would say it was something like similar because I got to the point where I'm like, I've been doing this for like 9 years now. Like, how much longer can I go through this cycle over and over? Like, my body was just giving me all these signals that like I can't continue doing this. And then like I really just loved like educating. So even growing up, like I would tutor people, even people going through the CPA program, like I would mentor them. So I just feel like I just had this like natural ability to teach and like support people. And I was actually thinking of like creating like a course, but I knew I had to like put myself out there, start
Yeah.
talking about it before I could even build on that.
Yeah. Have you created that course?
Yeah, so I have a tax course and now I have a program called our Profit Era to support
That's our
women
topic.
with managing their money.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about that. I do want to talk. Let's go back really quickly. Let's go back
Okay.
to the version of Cindy who stayed quiet in her bedroom. Were there moments when you were a kid when you realized I want to speak up, I just don't know how, or did you want to speak up?
I felt like that like all the time. Like I'd have all these thoughts I went on sure, but I feel like I would just like write them down instead.
Mm. So you're a journaler.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That all right. That's very helpful. You had an outlet, something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's so good. So, Cindy, you have helped women build financial clarity and confidence. What mindset block around money have you seen that a lot of women have?
That's such a great question because I feel like I was going through it too. I feel like it's just more like shame and like
Mm,
how we grew up around money. We don't realize we're carrying that with us like subconsciously. And instead of like inheriting a healthy relationship with money, I feel like we all inherit some sort of like money wounds that we just carry with us into like adulthood and into our businesses because it's all connected.
that's so true. Can you give me an example of one that you've seen that just has not served women?
Yeah, for example, for myself, with my dad being like an entrepreneur in the real estate industry, like we would have money coming in all at once or periods where there was like nothing. So
Mm,
I just thought like if I have money, I just need to spend it. So when I started my corporate career, I spent everything I had. And then every 2 weeks, I paid off my credit card. And then I was doing the same thing in my business as well. Clients would pay and I would feel the need to like spend it. And it wasn't until I started unpacking those beliefs, I realized I was still being that girl.
Wow. If you looked, have you talked to your parents about that, or were they aware that that's how you were kind of receiving that?
No, they had no idea because they were just like doing their best with what they could do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's really interesting because we all have something. We all
Right.
do money in some way. And it's so funny. I was talking with a friend about this recently about, how people have, well, I don't know about you, but I will say that when I was growing up, I would hear people say the phrase, oh, that's a trust fund baby.
Mhm.
And that was considered a bad thing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now I look at that and I'm like, no, actually, I think it's a good thing because you're setting up the next generation for for financial success so that they look at wealth and finances in a very different way.
Yeah.
What is something that you have seen that you're like, you know what, I would love for this to not be the norm anymore?
I would say a common one is like money doesn't grow on trees, or you have to work hard to make money. And we all feel like we have to trade our time for money.
What do you think is the truth for that?
I feel like money is just like energy. Like we're just using it to like support our lifestyles and like do the things we want to do, more of like a big picture. And like comparing it to like nature, like you see so many trees, the water's flowing, the ocean, like there's an abundance like all around us. So why do we feel so like scarce with money?
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's really powerful. So you mentioned before, because we've been talking back and forth, but you had mentioned
Yeah.
that there is the fear of leaving behind stability and silence. Can you walk us through explain what that is, when you mentioned that to me, and then can you walk us through what the decision actually looked like for you for that?
That's a great question. I feel like the stability and silence was like, I was like guaranteed this corporate career job. I worked my way up to manager. Like the money and the comfort was there, but then also this unknown showing up on social media. It was like this whole brand new thing. My parents, like very old school, very like just like I would say like they were like more like hands-on, not really marketing, just like word of mouth kind of advertising. So like everything I was doing was like really new. With my brother being a lawyer as well, he's more of like word of mouth. He took over someone else's practice. So he's like in that traditional kind of route too. And I was just starting something new that no one like in my family or my friends or anybody I knew had done. So it was like, it was scary, but kind of exciting because it's like, I have control over like what I'm sharing, how I'm doing it. I'm also like very creative. So I love like creating posts and things in Canva. And I feel
Okay,
like it was just a very like creative outlet for me.
that's so great. That's If you love posting on social media, that's what so many people say is just such a stressor,
Yeah.
business owners especially, because,
Yeah.
it can be stressful if that's not your zone of genius. And I think it's really, really cool that your zone of genius is money and creativity and social media. Like that is really cool. And I don't see that combination as often as I
Yeah.
think I would like to see it. But how cool is that? Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so you have now reached 100 episodes in your podcast. First of all, did you celebrate?
Yeah, I did. I went out for
Okay,
dinner.
that's good. So you like to celebrate things. I love that. Um, so the podcast is called Her Wealthy Mindset. So the question that I have for you about the podcast is, what has this medium, podcasting, what has it taught you about having a voice and about your voice in particular?
That's such a great question. I feel like it has also helped me like communicate and like just speak about like things on my mind or things I've been dealing with. The whole podcast is about like mindset, business, and of course, like money, because like it's all connected. And I feel like the wealthy mindset doesn't have to be about money. It's like you as a whole, whether it's like your health, your fitness, just taking care of yourself overall. And I feel like it's just an outlet for me to just like normalize conversations around money and also for like a younger version of myself.
Got it. There is this myth that we have to wait until we feel ready,
Yeah.
or you may call it perfectionism. Like, this has to be right, it has to be this way before we can actually lead. What would you say to the woman who is still waiting?
I would say just take messy action. Doing something like 90 days or 100 days straight, consistently putting the reps in, you'll notice, like, compared to day 1 to day 90, for example, for the podcast, like, I had everything scripted. I had to read word by word, and
Yeah.
now it's like I can just have, like, bullet points, know what I wanna talk about, and just talk about it. So over time, it does get easier, but you do have to take that initial step.
Yeah. What would you say to 7-year-old Cindy who has no idea what's out there for her, but is curious? What are some life lessons that you would give to your younger self?
Wow, that's such a powerful question. I would say just like I would encourage her to speak up and share her thoughts and feelings at a young age. And then also just be curious. So, like, if something's been said, does it mean you have to follow it? Like, we're told, like, go to school, get the degree, get the career, which
Right.
may not be true today. Like, you don't need a degree to have a successful business.
It's very true. Words
So, it's
of
like,
wisdom.
yeah, I would say, like, follow your heart.
Wow. Can I ask you a question about this? Is something that it just popped into my head.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to I don't know if it's millennials who are, I guess it's the younger generation, younger than millennials too, that are just now exiting high school, right? So they're in high school,
Right.
maybe 11th grade or so. If you could speak to like an 11th or a 12th grader, this is just top of my head here,
Yeah.
who has no idea, knows that they're going to go to college because my mom told me I have to go to college or whatever it
Yeah.
is, right? Whatever it is, that happens all the time.
It
Um,
does, yeah.
or because they don't really know what else to do. They're not going to take a gap year, or backpack through Europe or whatever it is.
Mhm.
They're just going to go to college because that's the next thing that they know that it's secure, right?
Yeah.
They have no idea what to major in. They have no idea what their focus will be. Um, what would you say to them, or to a mom who is trying to lead her teenager into making wise choices? Like, how do you establish yourself at that age so that when you are older, you are financially free?
That's such a
Or
great question. I would say, like, awareness is key. So, like, just asking yourself, what subjects do you enjoy, like, in high school? What are your interests? If you play sports, what sports are you interested in? And then based on that, just getting more curious and even diving deeper into that.
Yeah.
And then if you are going to, like, post-secondary school, taking those kind of courses and kind of seeing, like, what you enjoy, and do you see, like, a bigger vision for that?
I've heard you talk about enjoyment a lot.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that you had mentioned having a career in the corporate world before, where you didn't enjoy it and you had health problems, but you stayed. Was there a moment for you when you started your business when you realized, like, you woke up and realized, I feel good, I feel healthy because I'm happy? Did you have those moments, or did it just kind of happen, I guess? Like,
That's
were you really
interesting.
aware?
Yeah, that's interesting you say that because even when I started my business, like I was showing up online, doing all the things, but I feel like behind the scenes, because I was still supporting tax clients as well. So I feel like I was still kind of operating my business the same way as the firms. It wasn't until like the end of this tax season where I'm just like, I can't support like these type of clients or do these type of tax returns. They're just not aligned with me. So I've had to like let those people kind of go. And I feel like I'm doing more like fractional CFO, more financial coaching, more meaningful kind of work. Whereas before, like when you start a business, you're trying to help anybody and everybody just so you have like money coming in.
Sure. Was that a hard decision for you?
I feel like no, because like when I was going through tax season, dealing with certain clients, it's like I could feel a certain way in like my body, like the stress, kind of anxiety. I felt like I was chasing clients and like babysitting them, making sure I was more concerned about the tax filing deadline than they were. So it was like
Yeah.
I could, I had literally had like 200 clients in my head, like at all times, just stressing about them because I really deeply care about the clients I work with and
Yeah.
supporting them and have their best interests at heart. But if they can't take responsibility over things like I can only help them so much.
Can't babysit, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I find that so hard to understand if you are hiring someone to do your taxes. Maybe it's because the thought is, oh, well, they'll just take care of everything and
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
have to do anything anymore. I'm not liable.
Responsible. Yeah.
It's so odd to me. Okay. So what are two brave, bold, audacious goals that you have for your business within the next year?
I want to hit $1 million in sales. And I also want to partner with like a big beauty school and do like a collaboration or even have like a licensing deal with like her profit era.
Okay. I love that. Okay, so what are the deadlines for those?
That's a good question. I feel like it's kind of like open ended right now because I'm just like reaching out to schools, doing like free kind of webinars and like presentations and stuff. But
Okay.
I'm hoping by like the next couple of years.
Okay. All right. The next few years. So then, if someone wants to offer you accountability,
Mhm.
are you willing to give a date?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So anybody watching, Cindy is looking for accountability for her two business goals. That's fantastic. I love that. Okay, Cindy, thank you so much for so much wisdom and for bravely becoming this bold woman who is like, no, I'm going to speak up and I have something to say. Thank you for sharing your message. I know that there's a lot of women who do struggle with finances, and I don't think we often realize that that financial struggle does come from somewhere. Like we were all raised by somebody, we were all raised around
Mhm.
somebody. We've all experienced money in our own unique way, but we don't always take the time to stop and think of the why. Why do I feel this way? Why am I not successful in that area? Why am I having so much trouble with this? So thank you for shedding some light on that. And thank you
Thank you
for
so
your
much for having me.
absolutely. But you're not out of the hot seat just yet. It
Okay.
is time for hot mic. So this was the surprise that I had for you. So what hot mic is it's 15 fun and strategic rapid fire questions. So the only rule here is you have to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
No filtering. That's cheating.
Okay, sounds good.
You ready?
Yes,
Okay. Let's see. Number one, coffee order that says I run things.
I would say a chai tea latte.
Oh, okay. Excel or Google Sheets?
Google Sheets.
I hate Excel. First thing you bought when your business hit six figures.
I bought a Louis Vuitton designer handbag.
What? Are you a bad girl? That is amazing. That just made my day. Thank you for telling me that. That's amazing.
You're welcome.
Okay. The best nickname someone has ever given you.
I would say the caring accountant.
The caring accountant. I love that. Your alter ego's name when you show up fearless.
Ooh, I would say it's a good one. I haven't even thought of a name for it yet.
It can't be Sasha Fierce.
Oh, I was just thinking that.
I was too. I don't know how I would say that question. My alter ego. That's a really hard. It's easy
That
for me to
is.
ask you these questions. I'm sitting over here.
Yeah,
It's hard for you. I'm
it
I'm
is.
very aware of that. Okay. A money mistake that turned out to be a great lesson.
I would say like spending in like a coaching program, but not really having the money saved up for it.
Explain that.
Like I just invested 50K into working with Alex Hermosi and his team, but I didn't have that like money saved up right away.
But it's Alex Hermosi. Like,
right. Yeah.
You're the second person I know who signed up for his. Did you already do it?
I did the first one, but this one's like the second one. So
Okay.
I'm flying out to Vegas in September for it.
How was it?
It was really good. It was so nice, like being in a room full of like people doing better than you and all being like supportive and like giving like input and stuff.
I love that community. That's so great. Well done. Well done. What would your 10-year-old Cindy self think of you right now?
She would be proud
What do you think she'd be most proud of?
that I'm actually sharing my voice and like my education and everything that I know.
Love that. Oh, love that. Okay. So your podcast hit 100 episodes. Congratulations again.
Thank
The
you.
one thing? Absolutely. What is the one thing that you wish people knew about sticking with something?
I would say like sticking with something is just like taking one little action every single day. Doesn't have to be something big, just one little thing.
Yeah, that's true. Favorite finance meme or pop culture moment?
That's a good question. I would say Schitt's Creek, where they talk about everything being a write-off and like the government pays a write-off.
That's great. I'm going to tell you something at the very end. Well, I'll forget. This is how little I knew about money a long time ago. When I was in my freshman year of college, my dad called me and he goes, "Jules, where did all the money in your account go?" I was like, "Dad, I spent it." And he was like, "Well, how are you going to get X, Y, and Z?" I was like, "Just write a check for it." That is the most awful. First of all, that dates me. I write a check. Wow, who was writing
Yeah.
checks? But that was my mentality on money. So
Yeah.
that's awful. I can't believe I just told you that. Okay. You're stranded on a desert island. You get one snack and one spreadsheet. Sorry. You're stranded on a desert island. You get either of the two things, a snack or a spreadsheet. Which do you choose?
I would go with the snack.
Smart. Or what's the phrase that instantly calms your nervous system?
That's a good question. Is Drew blank?
That's okay. I think I have a few bonus ones, maybe. We'll see. That's okay. We can come back to it, though.
Okay.
A financial term more women should own with confidence.
I would say understanding like what's in their bank account, because I feel like everyone's so focused on like their Stripe screenshots, how much they're making. But if you ask those same people what's in their bank account, it would be crickets.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think they don't want to know?
They don't want it. There's a lot of avoidance.
Favorite guest that you've had on Her Wealthy Mindset?
I would say I had another money coach. Her name's Annie, and she does like free like weekly sessions with like different people, different coaches, and she just offers like more support to women.
Love that. What's one thing that you are financially proud of this year?
I would say like thinking about my investments before I make them.
Okay.
Whereas before it was like mindlessly spending. And if I was going to buy a designer bag now, I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No.
What would you buy instead?
I would say like I'd invest in like personal development. So like Hermosi or someone else had something else. I feel
Yeah.
like that would go like a lot further than investing in a bag.
That's very responsible of you.
Yeah.
If your bank account, speaking of, if your bank account could talk, what would it say about you right now?
I would say like conservative.
Okay. All right. What is one goal that you have for yourself um, outside of the business, outside of the finances? One
Yeah.
personal goal that you have for yourself this year?
I would say like consistency with taking care of like my body and my health
How do
is
you feel?
something I always it's something that I've always like put off before. It was like the corporate world, getting the tax deadlines done. And then I would say the same thing in the business. Like it was like clients always came first
Yeah.
and like my health kind of came second. Just recently dealt with like shingles. I was out for like 6 weeks. So now it's like I'm really just going to like my workouts, going to yoga, walking, just really taking care of myself.
Something I've learned about myself is that refreshment is so important, but
Right.
refreshment looks different in different seasons of your life. So, last question, because there was one question that you didn't answer. I'll ask this one. Is there something that refreshes you this season that you never expected because it didn't refresh you last season?
I would say like walks. So like anytime like I feel like I'm overworking or I'm just having a block like with content or like even knowing what to do because I feel
Yeah.
like you're just over consuming and like you're so distracted with everything. But if I'm like just going for walks with like not listening to anything, just like paying attention to like nature and just like being with myself, I feel like I get so much like clarity and like calmness in my body.
Wow. Mic drop. That's amazing. Cindy, this has been so wonderful. Your story is literally, you should like be doing masterclass because I feel like I've learned a little bit about finances right now. And I think, and you haven't even really delved into the how of finances, but you've delved very deeply into like, what's the heart behind the finances? Why do we feel this way? The why. So I just want to say thank you for that because I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges for a lot of women. It's the mindset.
Yeah, I would say it's 100% mindset because I could give you all the strategy in the world, but
Yeah.
it's not going to work for you if you're not willing to feel safe with that.
So good. So good. Thank you so much for using this platform to speak and to do it on your terms. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing the real journey behind the numbers, the brand, and the mindset shift. And to anybody who is listening, if Cindy's voice lit a fire in you, send this episode to a woman that you know is ready to stop playing small. Post it, tag it, and start a bigger conversation around wealth and worth and speaking up. Cindy, before we go, will you tell everybody how they can find you, how they can follow you, and how they can listen to your podcast?
Yes, of course. So my podcast is Her Wealthy Mindset. It's available on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram at it's Cindy Kumar. I'm posting daily on there as well. And if you are interested in connecting with me, I'm offering everyone listening right now a free 20-minute strategy call, or maybe you just want to talk about finances in general. Wherever you are in your journey, I just want you to know like it's a safe place for you to talk to someone, no judgment, no shame. I've been through it. I understand what it's like.
I love how generous you are. Ladies, go and take advantage. Like, this is so amazing. This could be like, this could really change the trajectory of someone's life. It's a big deal. Cindy,
Thank
you're a
you so
big
much.
deal. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here. And stick around for after. But ladies, thank you so much for watching the Unmuted podcast. I am your host, Anjali Marshall, and I am so excited to see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
What you just heard wasn't just a story. It was a spark, a glimpse into the heart of a woman living her purpose, and a reminder that when one woman shares, another woman wakes up to what's possible. These aren't just conversations, they're catalysts. I'm your host, Anjali Marshall, and this is the Unmuted podcast, where voices rise, stories connect, and purpose finds its volume. Until next time, friends, stay unmuted.